Procrastination is a common behavior that many of us struggle with. Despite knowing we need to get things done, we delay them for reasons we don't always understand. Why do we procrastinate, even when it causes stress and anxiety? The answer lies in the way our brain processes motivation and rewards. The brain's reward system plays a central role in procrastination. When we face tasks that seem overwhelming or unpleasant, our brain naturally seeks immediate gratification, a quick dopamine release from activities that feel good, like watching TV or scrolling through social media. This craving for instant pleasure often leads to putting off tasks that require effort. Procrastination is often described as a self-regulation failure, meaning we are unable to manage our impulses or delay gratification. Our brains prioritize short-term rewards over long-term goals. This conflict between short-term satisfaction and long-term achievement is why we often choose the easy route, even if it leaves us feeling guilty and anxious later. But it's not just about avoiding discomfort. Procrastination is deeply tied to emotions like fear and self-doubt. Many people procrastinate because they fear failure or worry about not being able to complete a task perfectly. This fear of failure triggers avoidance, leading us to delay tasks in an attempt to avoid feeling inadequate or ashamed. The phenomenon of procrastination is linked to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and impulse control. When we're faced with a task, the prefrontal cortex works to keep us focused and organized. However, the limbic system, which controls emotions and impulses, often overrides the prefrontal cortex's efforts, pulling us toward more immediate rewards and pushing tasks aside. In a sense, procrastination is like a battle between two parts of the brain. The limbic system, which seeks instant pleasure, competes with the prefrontal cortex, which urges us to complete tasks and reach long-term goals. The struggle between these two brain regions leads to procrastination, as the brain favors emotional comfort over discipline. Cognitive distortions also contribute to procrastination. We often overestimate the difficulty of a task, convincing ourselves it's too hard or overwhelming. This negative thinking leads to avoidance. Breaking down tasks into smaller, manageable steps can help counter this by making tasks seem less intimidating, reducing the emotional burden that leads to procrastination. Another factor that contributes to procrastination is decision fatigue. When we make too many decisions in a short amount of time, our brain becomes fatigued, and our ability to make decisions effectively diminishes. This decision-making exhaustion can make it harder to start tasks, leading to delays and avoidance. Simplifying choices and prioritizing tasks can help prevent this from happening. Perfectionism plays a big role in procrastination. Those who hold themselves to unrealistically high standards often fear that the final result won't measure up. As a result, they delay starting the task, as the pressure to be perfect feels paralyzing. Letting go of perfectionism and focusing on progress, not perfection, can reduce procrastination significantly. There is also the issue of self-handicapping, where people procrastinate in order to protect their self-esteem. If we delay a task and fail, we can blame external factors, like not having enough time, rather than confronting the fear that we weren't good enough. This is a coping mechanism that allows us to avoid the emotional discomfort of failure. Interestingly, research shows that procrastination is often linked to low self-compassion. People who are hard on themselves, who constantly criticize their efforts, are more likely to procrastinate. Being kind to ourselves and allowing room for mistakes helps break the cycle of self-doubt and procrastination. Self-compassion leads to greater motivation and reduces the negative emotions that fuel procrastination. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming procrastination is setting clear and achievable goals. When we define specific tasks with concrete deadlines, it becomes easier to focus and take action. Breaking down larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps reduces overwhelm and makes it easier to start. Tracking progress also helps maintain motivation and reinforces the idea that tasks are achievable. Accountability is another strategy that can help reduce procrastination. Having someone to share your goals with, whether it's a friend, colleague, or coach, increases the likelihood of success. Knowing that someone is holding us accountable provides external motivation, encouraging us to start and complete tasks on time. Social support boosts commitment and reduces avoidance. In conclusion, procrastination is a complex behavior that stems from a combination of brain chemistry, emotions, and cognitive patterns. It's not just about laziness or poor time management. It's a psychological issue, rooted in how our brain responds to discomfort, fear, and self-doubt. Understanding these underlying factors can help us address procrastination more effectively and develop healthier habits. Procrastination often stems from a lack of immediate rewards for completing difficult tasks. Your brain craves quick pleasure, and when a task doesn't offer instant gratification, it's easy to push it aside. Instant rewards, such as checking your phone or watching TV, flood your brain with dopamine, reinforcing this procrastination loop. Over time, it becomes harder to focus on tasks that don't offer immediate satisfaction. The brain's limbic system, which governs emotions, is another contributor to procrastination. It's wired to prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term success. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and decision-making, gets overpowered by emotional impulses. This internal conflict makes it hard to start tasks that require sustained effort, leading to avoidance and a growing sense of guilt and frustration. Another powerful factor behind procrastination is the fear of failure. When faced with a challenging task, you may subconsciously believe that you are not good enough to succeed. This fear leads to avoidance, as it feels safer to delay starting than to face the possibility of failure. It's easier to procrastinate than to risk feeling incompetent or vulnerable. Over time, procrastination feeds negative self-talk. You may begin to criticize yourself for your lack of action, reinforcing the belief that you're lazy or unmotivated. These negative thoughts become self-fulfilling prophecies, making it even more difficult to overcome procrastination. It's crucial to challenge these thoughts and replace them with more positive, realistic beliefs about your abilities. The habits we form also contribute to procrastination. When you procrastinate, your brain gets used to the pattern. The more you procrastinate, the easier it becomes to continue this behavior. Breaking this habit requires consistent effort and mindfulness. Small steps toward change can help disrupt the cycle and train your brain to focus on the task at hand. Another psychological factor is the all-or-nothing mindset. If you believe that you must complete a task perfectly, the fear of imperfection can prevent you from starting at all. The key is to focus on progress rather than perfection. Even small steps forward can provide a sense of accomplishment, motivating you to continue rather than avoid the task entirely. One technique that can help break the procrastination cycle is breaking tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. When faced with a large project, the overwhelm can cause delay. By dividing the task into smaller, actionable parts, you make it easier to get started. Completing smaller steps gives you a sense of achievement and reduces the anxiety associated with the task. Another effective strategy is time blocking. Schedule specific blocks of time to work on tasks and stick to that schedule. By dedicating focused time for specific activities, you eliminate the temptation to procrastinate. Time blocking increases accountability and helps reduce the decision fatigue that can lead to avoidance. It's also important to address underlying emotions. Procrastination is often a response to negative emotions, such as anxiety or stress. Mindfulness practices, such as deep breathing or meditation, can help you manage these emotions and clear mental clutter. Reducing emotional stress creates a clearer mental space for focusing on tasks. Another technique is accountability. Whether it's a friend, colleague, or coach, sharing your goals with others increases your commitment. Having someone hold you accountable makes you more likely to follow through. It's also helpful to celebrate your achievements together, which reinforces the positive behavior of completing tasks. Self-compassion is another key factor in overcoming procrastination. When we procrastinate, we often become self-critical. This negativity only increases anxiety and discouragement. By practicing self-compassion, we acknowledge that everyone struggles with procrastination at times. Being kind to yourself helps reduce the emotional burden, making it easier to take action without feeling overwhelmed. Creating a positive work environment also plays a significant role in reducing procrastination. A cluttered or distracting workspace can lead to increased stress and avoidance. Organizing your space and removing distractions helps you focus on the task at hand. A calm, organized workspace signals your brain that it's time to work. Setting clear, achievable goals is essential for maintaining momentum. When you have a defined goal, you know exactly what you need to do, and it's easier to get started. Breaking down larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks helps maintain focus and prevents procrastination. Tracking progress also boosts motivation, reinforcing your commitment. Finally, creating routines can help eliminate the need for constant decision-making. When you establish a regular schedule for work, exercise, and leisure, you remove the need to decide when to start. This automaticity makes it easier to focus on your tasks, reducing the chances of procrastination. In conclusion, procrastination is a complex behavior rooted in psychological factors, brain chemistry, and habit formation. Understanding the underlying causes of procrastination, such as fear of failure, negative self-talk, and the pursuit of immediate gratification can help us break the cycle. By implementing strategies like time blocking, accountability, and self-compassion, we can develop healthier habits that reduce procrastination and increase productivity.